The Ohio River. It's a beautiful place and a great place for recreation. But are you eating fish out of this water? Well, our investigation might just surprise you. Stick around.
The Ohio River, 981 miles of beautiful waterways that provide important means of commerce and relaxation for everyone. The fishing is fantastic, and I have caught tons of fish out of this river over the years, as well as Miss Tammy and other friends. But no matter how often I fish the Ohio River or the fish that I catch from there, have I ever or do I ever intentionally plan on catching, keeping, and eating these fish? Now, if you're a regular to our channel, you know from time to time I love to eat fried catfish. And who, of course, out there could turn down one of the fried catfish sandwiches of Miss Tammy? Very few people, I would say. But when you go to your local restaurant and order catfish, are you getting more than you bargained for? I'm Brad Reynolds. Thanks for joining. If I go into a restaurant, whether it's a buffet or I'm ordering catfish off the menu, for some reason I am under the impression that I am ordering farmed raised catfish. Now, after my investigation and something that Tammy and I had stumbled on that caused me to research this further, I'm not necessarily always getting what I think I am. Now, recently, when going into a local restaurant, I have found that many times the fish that you order off the menu or get from the buffet actually come from the Ohio River. We have recently found out that thousands of pounds of fish every day are being processed and sent to somewhat local restaurants for consumption. That's right. That local area that I speak of is about 200 miles that I know of restaurants serving these catfish that come directly from the Ohio River. Now, you say, why is that a problem? Well, some of us are unaware of that, but many of us know that the Ohio River is about, if not the most polluted, toxic river in the United States of America. And with that being the case, the same goes for the fish that are in that water. Now, many people understand that these catfish have high levels of mercury and PCB in them. The Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife, through their website or their yearly magazine, lets us know the potential dangers of eating catfish in these rivers. And generally, there is a fish advisory that tells us one meal a month for most healthy adults. Pregnant women and children may differ. Now, many of us know the dangers of mercury, but people today still don't understand PCB and its dangers. Well, simply put, PCBs were man-made products that were toxins that were used in a lot of factories and produced or dumped into our rivers when they were done with it. This was banned in this country, and prior to or after 1979, it was no longer being done. However, those toxins from the PCBs are still in our waters. We also still buy products with PCBs from other countries that come in, and sometimes those products are discarded, unfortunately, in our rivers. Pollution is just more toxins going into our rivers and our lakes, but they're not the only one. Agricultural discharge, as well as discharge from factories that still produce dangerous chemicals, sometimes go into our lakes and rivers. Well, with all that, it's easy to see how our fish can be contaminated. And while one may think that the restaurant they go to would be serving farmed raised catfish. Now, farm raised catfish are raised in a way, generally the food, a lot of times it's grain and things like this, or different types of things. There's bait that will float. So they're eating top water versus bottom water. So they're eating less rotten things like fish, other fish, or they're eating, yeah, let's face it, feces and things like that. They're much cleaner in the water they're in and so on, and just the way they're raised in general. You don't have that dirty taste, and they're not full of toxins. So you would consider or think that this would be what would be served when you know the water out back here is not as healthy as it should be. Now, with all this being said, I am not going to break down restaurants that I was personally told that serve these fish in this area. Sorry if you're waiting for that. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to break down the fish market that also we got this information from. The reason being, it is legal within my state right here to serve these fish, to buy them from those people, and to serve them in these restaurants. They have every legal right to do that. Now, whether it's a moral thing, I don't know. You've got to balance that and weigh that out. But as a consumer, you have the right to be able to ask the people at that restaurant where they get their fish from. If these are farm raised fish or they're taken from the river. Now, many of your waiters and waitresses probably have no idea where these fish come from, to be honest. You're basically going to have to talk to the manager or the owner of these restaurants to find out where they're getting their fish from. Now, with that being said, again, fish can be taken and eaten from the Ohio River. Again, as stated earlier, young children or pregnant women may want to refrain from that. Healthy adults, right now, with the levels in the water of toxins and stuff, they're recommending it's like one meal a month, I believe, for catfish. Now, other fish, I believe there's one meal a week on some of those, but you need to look closely into these books put out by the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife and find out what fish advisories are placed up on the fish that you're getting out of these body of waters. Whether it's here, whether it's any body of water, not just our rivers, but check with your lakes and your ponds and so on to see, because many times some of them will have a fish advisory posted right there at the body of water. So it gives you a chance to look and see if what you're catching you feel comfortable or safe with eating. Folks, I hope this informs some of you about this. I know it may tick some of you off, feeling like you're being deceived by fish that are being presented to you and what you're seeing or considering safe. But it is what it is. It is legal to do this. Again, whether it's moral or not, because a lot of times these buffets will be serving children and pregnant women when it may not be really, really safe for them. So maybe there should be signs put up in the restaurant for this fish, women and children or pregnant women, or children may want to refrain from eating these fish. Or whatever, or a notice that states these fish were taken or purchased from local rivers. So there you go. That would solve the problem, and it would inform you, the consumer, if you would like to eat these fish or not. There you go. Folks, as we came across this and literally stumbled on some of this information, I had to investigate it further because I felt like you guys needed to know. I spoke with some people the other day, and some people had no idea. Some people that are fishermen even had no idea that there's fish consumptions on some of the rivers around this area. So quickly informed them that they needed not only take my word for it, but the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife, and read about it and find out what's going on. Folks, you can do so in your state as well. Check out your local streams and rivers and see what potential dangers may lie there. Okay. Again, I hope you enjoyed this. Sorry it couldn't be great news for you, but maybe it's better news that you found this out and now you can decide make an educated choice whether you want to consume those fish taken out of those rivers or not. So there you go. Folks, thank you very much. Give us a thumbs up if you like this and appreciate this being brought to you. And like I said, I feel like it was an obligation to do so. And again, I would not call out any of those restaurants. Again, it's your obligation now from this point to ask them where they get their fish at, if you want to know. All right. You guys take care. We hope to see you soon. B&T Catfishing Adventure. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. When you do that, you also get the We Be Fishing viewable podcast as well right here. You guys take care. We'll see you soon.